All right, let's get to over-unders, Jeff. So, receivers, you got Golden Tate, receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. I don't think we need to do anything besides those three for these guys. So, let's try to figure out receptions. And, Jeff, if you look at Golden Tate's career, he's been remarkably consistent except for the past 2 years. Remember, he was having a really good year for Detroit. He got traded to Philly, and then he had a lot of trouble kind of figuring out a role there.
Yeah.
And then last year, he obviously missed those games. He only played in 11 of the Giants' 16 games. So he still caught 49 passes in those 11 games. But the years before that, listen to this string of years. From 2017 going backwards, 92, 91, 90, and 99. So he had a lot of catches for Detroit. He had 74 in 2018. If you extrapolate his 49 from last season, that comes out to about 70 or so catches. So where do you think he lands this year? What's a good over-under number for him? What do you think, like 73, 75? Higher than that? What do you think? Remember, the ball's going to get spread around a little bit, so we have to keep that into consideration here.
But I still think that Daniel Jones trusts Golden Tate.
I think he will be the Giants. I think he will lead the Giants in receptions this year.
And
do you think so too?
I like
not receiving yards, receptions.
Receptions because of the slot, getting those quick ones. But I like the number. For some reason, 71 pops in my head. I don't know why.
Okay, so let's go 71.5. How about that?
Yeah. You like that number?
I do like that number.
Would you go over?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you
Not
go
by
over?
much though. I would go over. Yes.
So should we
go? Yeah.
So should we make it 72.5 then? Would you go over 72.5?
Well, see, I think 75 is the number that I think he's going to get. So yes.
Okay, so let's make it a little higher then. Let's make it
73.5.
You want to be really aggressive, huh?
Mm-hmm. Let's see what those guys. They're going to go under.
I think I'm going to go over. I think I'm going to be with you on that one. All right, so you're going over 73.5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Receiving.
God, I hope he still stays healthy.
Well, you remember, he always has, Jeff. You go through his career. You remember last year he missed games because of the suspension, but not because of injury. So he played all his games.
He's a tough dude, too.
He played 15 in 2018, and the years before that, Jeff, 16, 16, 16, 16, 16, 15, 16.
Yeah.
That guy does not miss games due to injury. So he's going to play. He's a tough guy, to your point. So I agree with you.
And go to that point, Sterling misses some games. Darius Slayton is young. He's not a big dude. He'll
Engram
probably
misses
miss some
games.
Yeah, so I think the durability from Golden Tate he might be able to pack on maybe 15 extra catches over the course of the season because of those other guys out of the lineup.
Yeah, but he'll be playing in games where maybe they're not.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Okay, receiving yards. This is a little bit tougher. So in 2018, he had 795, all right? He had 1,000 the year before that, 1,077 the year before that, 813 the year before that, 1,331 the year before that, then 898 in his last season with Seattle. He had 795 in his split 2018 season. Last year, he had 676, but he averaged 61 yards per game. So if you average that out, Jeff, over a 16-game season, 61 times 16 is about 960. So he around 970 yards if he played all 16 games last year. So where do you think he lands this season?
900.
What's a good over-under number?
I like 900.
You like 900?
I do.
Let me think. If he goes 75 and he averages, he's been pretty consistent over his career, 11 yards per catch. Okay.
No.
I think that's fair.
So
I'm good with that.
16 times 90, right?
Yeah,
wait, no,
I think that's
me.
good.
I'm sorry. So 16 or 9, what did I say, 900?
Well, you thought he would have 75 catches, right?
900 divided by 16 is 56.25. That's just under his average of 60-something a game.
Yep.
So I like that number.
All right, I'm going to pop it a little bit. I'm going to put – I think 900 is good. I take it back. Let's go 900. I'm good with that.
So we're
I
talking
could see people going under that.
73 and a half and 900. Was that it?
Yep. And then how many receiving touchdowns? Oh, well, first of all, you going over or under 900 receiving yards?
I'm gonna go under.
Okay, I like it. Okay, now touchdowns. Tate has not been like a touchdown fiend over the course of his career. I'll go backwards again. Last year, 6, then 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 7. So he's never had more than 7 and never had fewer than 4. So we have a pretty so we got a pretty well, how about
5.5.
Jeff, you took the words right out of my mouth.
There we go.
5.5. I think that's good. You going over or under 5.5?
You know what? I'm going to go over.
All right.
I feel like the Jason Garrett is going to find a way to get him the football in the red zone. You know, Darius Slayton is a tall guy. Evan Engram is a target, and maybe Golden gets some catches. So
yeah, he might have some long runs after the catch, things like that. So I agree with you. Okay, do you want to go Sterling Shepard next, or do you want to go Darius Slayton next?
Let's go Shep.
You want to go Shep next? Okay, so let's start with receptions. Obviously, you know, Sterling is more of a high reception guy, not as high yardage guys. He's played 2 16-game seasons. In those years, he had 65 catches and 66 catches. Ironically, in the 2 seasons where he played fewer games, he only played 11 games in 2017, but had 59 catches. So that is like 5.5 per game. And then last year, he had 57 catches in 10 games, which is 5.7 catches per game. So if you extrapolate that, you're looking at 90 catches over a 16-game season if he stays healthy. Even though it was 2 16-game seasons, he only had 66 catches. You know what I mean? It's one of those weird little dynamics there.
Yeah, and rather than go with those numbers, I got to go with the consistent numbers. And the 66 and 67 are the 2 16-game seasons he played in.
Well, look, over his career, Jeff, he's never had fewer than 57 catches, never had more than 66. So that's a pretty narrow window.
And for him to get 90, and we've got Shepard Golden Tate getting 73.
Oh, no, I agree. I think I was just giving the math.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put it that high.
I'm almost willing to give Shepard the same amount over under as Golden Tate. Now,
I want to make it a little bit. I want to make it a little bit lower than that.
Yeah. Okay. So
why don't we make it? How about
make it
69 and a half?
I was gonna say because his high is 67.
How about we make it 67 and a half?
Yeah.
Actually, 66 was his high. So why don't we make it? We can make it 65 and a half.
Okay.
You think that's good?
Yep. And I will take the under. And I'll tell you why I'm taking the under. Not because I don't think he's going to get the football. I just think he's going to miss some games.
Okay, that's fair.
And I hope he doesn't.
Receiving yards, his totals in his career. Last year, he actually had his career low in terms of yards per catch at just 10.1. The year before that, 13.2. Year before that, 12.4. Year before that, 10.5 yards per catch. The yardage totals, 576, 872, 731, and 683. So I think that he will be the, short, mid-range, 3rd and 5 guy. I don't think he's going to be a big downfield guy necessarily. So I think about, 11 yards per catch is probably what you're looking at. So I think a good, maybe like 700. Do you think that's good for receiving yards for him? A little higher, 730 maybe?
I'm definitely in the 700s. I don't know how high or how low to go in there. So I mean,
well, the way I look at it, we put his over under catches at 65, right? And let's say he averages 11 yards per reception, which I think is a pretty decent number for that, right? Mm-hmm. That would put us at like 720, give or take 715, something like that.
All right. So how about 730?
730, you like?
730, and if it is 730, I will go under.
Okay. Well, if we make it 720, would you still go under?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's make it 7. So let's make it a little bit lower then. How about 710? Would you still go under? Okay. Well, okay, then it gets tough.
Yeah, because of what I just said, I just don't think he's going to play in all 16 of those games.
Okay, so I'm going to make it 720. I think that's a good number.
Then I'll go under at 720.
Okay, I'll make it 720. Okay. And then how many receiving touchdowns? In his career, he's had 3, 4, 2, and 8.
4.5. Is that too low?
I was thinking about making it 3.5, but I think 4.5 is a good number.
That's a good number, and if he gets it, that's a good season.
Good. Yeah, over or under 4.5 for you.
For some reason on my notes, John, I don't know where I got it because I did these last week. Mm-hmm. I have a projection somewhere. It might have came from Pro Football Focus. Somebody put out 66 763 and 4.8.
Huh. So you're going to over?
Those are for so those. Yeah, I'm gonna go over because somebody said 4.8.
Somebody said it. Jeff clearly only going by the experts and really putting a lot of thought into
Somebody
this.
said it. I'm gonna go over.
Somebody said it. Okay.
I'm gonna go over.
All right, let's go to Darius Slayton here, Mr. Feagles.
I've got one, not a big sample size for this guy.
No, and again, he played in 14 games last year, but as a full-time receiver, probably closer to 10 or 11. It's hard to really, do projections because of that, because he played few snaps earlier in the year, played more as he went along, so it's hard to really, it's hard to extrapolate these numbers to a full season, so I'm not going to be able to do that. But last year, again, 14 games, 9 starts, 48 catches, 740 yards, 15.4 yards per catch, and 8 touchdowns. So this, to me, is a really tough one here, Jeff. I'm happy we kind of left this for last. I feel like he's going to be fewer volume of catches, but more yards per catch. Do you want to give him a higher or lower over/under for receptions than Shepard? I'm not willing to put it in the 70 range. I think we have to be in the 60s for him.
Well,
or do you think it should be higher?
Well, I'm looking at personnel. Okay, these are your 3 wide receivers.
Yep.
Okay. Who is my slot?
I think Tate and Shepard can rotate in that spot, right?
Okay, but the given is Slayton as the outside receiver.
Slayton's your X, right? If this team has an X receiver, it's Slayton.
And in this vertical passing game that Jason Garrett brings, I agree he's going to get a lion's share of the deep passes. So if he does connect on many of those, his average per catch is going to be higher, but he's not going to get as many receptions. So I'm going to go lower on the receptions, higher on the yards.
I agree. So let's use this as a guide then. Shepard's at 65.5. What do you think a fair number for Slayton is, like 62.5?
I'm saying in the 50s is too low, right? I mean,
would it shock me? No. If he finished you with 59 catches, would that surprise me? It wouldn't. Do you want to go like 61.5? 62.5?
How about 60.5?
You want to go 60.5? I'm gonna bump that to 61.5.
Okay.
I think if people hear, he only has to get 60, I think everyone's going to pick over. So I like to try to, do like the math tricks. Receiving yards is interesting. I think 50. I could see him leading the team in receiving yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you want to? For Tate, we put 900. For Slayton, you want to do like 915, 905, something like that?
Well, 18.
Because if, let's say he averages 15 yards per catch like he did last year, right? That would come out to over 900 yards at 61.5 catches.
Well, let's do it this way. If we have a projection of 38, what did we do for Daniel Jones? 3,800 yards?
3,950.
All right, so 3,950. And we divide that by 3 receivers.
Don't forget the tight ends and the running backs.
Okay. But hold on. 3,950 divided by, I'm gonna go 4.5. Just play with me here. 3,950 divided by 4.
Jeff using his real estate math skills here.
3,950 divided by 0.045. It's 87. 87.
This is great radio. Math on the radio that everybody tunes in for.
I got 900. I think is too. I think I like 9. I like 900. Right at the 900. I don't know. This is hard because I'm giving Golden Tate 9. What do we give him? 9.
I'm gonna give him 9. I'm gonna put him in 910. I'm gonna make him a little bit higher than Tate.
And we gave Golden 900.
Yep.
And we gave Sterling Shepard
720.
99 is 18.
I think that's about right.
25.
I think that's about right.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, touchdowns.
I think he'll lead the team in touchdowns.
I think you will too. So you want to put 6.5 for that?
Sure.
Or do I make it as much as 7.5?
He made 8 last year on 14 games. Really only, like you said, like 11 maybe playing.
All right, so let's do 7.5 for that.
Okay. I'll take the
good.
over.
All right, so you're going under on 61.5 receptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going over on the touchdowns and over under 910 receiving yards.
I'm going to go over.
Over. Okay. Then we did pick a good number then. Awesome. All right. Do you want to try to do the tight ends and knock them out here? I think we can.
Yeah, there's only a couple.
A caller just came in. Caller, we'll get to you after we do the 2 tight ends. So we'll do this. Try to do this a little bit quicker here. Evan Engram. Now, this is tricky.
Yes, it is.
Because you don't know how many games Evan Engram is going to play. And it's going to be even tougher for Kaden Smith when we do him because who knows how many snaps he's going to play. So in 15 games in his rookie year, Evan Engram caught 64 passes. He caught 45 last year and 44 in 2019. So if you assume, let's say he plays 13 games or 12, if you really want to make it an easy number to calculate, I think you got to put his reception totals in the 50s. I think asking for 60 is a lock given his injury history, right? So how about like 57 and a half, 56 and a half?
I like the number. I will go over that number.
So should I make it higher then? Should I go like 58 and a half?
No, I think the number's good considering 44 and 45 receptions in the last 2 years with 8 games and 11 games.
Okay, so I'll make it 57 and a half. How about that?
Yep.
Jeff's
I'm going to go over because I know that Jason Garrett's offense will feature the tight end.
All right, how about yards? I think that's interesting, Jeff. His yards the last 3 years 467, 577, 722 in his first year. Anywhere from 10.6 to 12.8 yards per catch.
Okay, here's how I'm going to base my whole numbers on Evan Engram. And it's an outlier. He's going to be healthy this year. He's a contract year. Okay? That makes a difference,
He has his 50. Remember, the Giants did pick up his 5th-year option for next season, so they control him for one more year after this.
Well, it still is good to be healthy.
Of course.
I like him at 900 yards.
Whoa!
Go 850.
Whoa, Jeff, that is a lot of yards per catch there.
Well, considering the number was at 50, what was it?
57 and a half.
Yeah, okay. So I can't go that high with that less receptions.
But you figure he's going to average around 11 yards per catch, right? Give or take, or even 11 and a half if you want to get greedy with it. If he catches 65 balls, you're looking at around 700. So I think you got to put it in the 700 range.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that. I actually think I want to bump up the number of receptions.
Okay, so why don't we make it?
But I don't have. It doesn't have to be my number. I'm going to go over whatever number it is. Because I actually think he's going to be in the mid to high 60s.
Yeah, because the game we have played is that we're assuming the guy's going to play, right? Mm-hmm. Play all his games.
Yeah. Because that's what I said to preface my whole thing. I said I'm going to go. I'm an outlier. He's going to play all the games.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have 67 to 70 receptions. And he's going to have anywhere between 8 and 850 yards.
All right, so I'm going to make it 59.5 on the number. For receiving yards, I'll make it 715, okay? And you're going to go over on both?
Yes.
Okay, how about touchdowns? 3, 3, and 6.
4.5.
Okay. And you're going over on that?
I am because I think he's going to have 5.
You know what? Really, you think? See, I was going to make it 5.5. All right, that's fine. We can do over on that.
Well, make it 5.
I was going to make it 5.5.
I think 5.5 is a harder number to pick than a 4.5.
Okay, well, if it's a harder number to pick, then that's the right number.
I think so.
Okay.
So 5.5.
You going over that?
I will go over.
Okay.
I will go over.
I'm going to go over that too, actually. I think he will lead the Giants in receiving touchdowns.
One little nugget about Evan Engram that I know a lot of people don't realize this.
Mm-hmm.
That last year, he did not play a single game with all of the receivers in the lineup.
Nope.
There was somebody out of the lineup. He was out of the lineup. They were out of the lineup. And I think that because of everything that's going on, him rehabbing this offseason, he's going to come into camp healthy, and the season's going to start with him healthy. God bless him, that he'll have all these guys together. That's going to mean a lot. And so we'll see. But it's interesting. Not one game did he have every receiver healthy, and he was on the field.
All right, Kaden Smith, Jeff.
Well, listen, he played 9 games, 31 receptions in 9 games. He had a good year last year. Nobody knew about this guy.
A lot of those were without Evan Engram, though. So you figure his numbers are going to drop.
Yeah, yep.
I don't think you can give him much more than like 40 catches. I think that's the most you could give him.
I think that might even be high.
I agree. I think that's the most I could do.
So you want to go to 35.5?
I can do that.
And yardage, maybe put it at even 250.
35.5. Let's see, averages 9 yards per catch. How about like 310, 315? Not 310's good. Let's do 310.
Okay.
Or you know what? Let's do 300 flat. How about that?
Okay.
And then touchdowns. Remember those like secondary blocking tight ends can steal those touchdowns. These are on play action at the goal line. They leak out. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't know. Over under 3.5. 3.
How about 2.5? You know, I think 3. Let's go 2.5. 2.5.
He had 3 last year in 9 games without Evan Engram. So.
All right, let's go 3.5. Let's go 3.5. All right, so you're going over or under 35.5 catches?
I'm going to go under the catches.
Okay, 300 receiving yards?
I'm going to go, wow, that's a good number. I'm actually going to go under that.
Okay, and touchdowns?
And touchdowns, I'll go over.
Okay. All right, there you have it, folks. We have our over-unders
Put
for
all
the
those
year.
things in there.
Oh, well, we're going to track them. It's going to be fun, and we'll figure out at the end of the year. Hopefully we get 16 games in, knock on wood, and we will kind of go from there.